Alright, so tomorrow, second grade 8 to 9, Aaron's Law 10:45, and then I ready at 1:15.
Yep. That's our day.
So that means I need to change my front line
To mirror that, yep.
to mirror that, or it is not going to.
And we sign in, we get to each session, so we'll know we get credit for that. That's how they're gonna do it. Or is it a sign in sheet, or we sign in the?
Both. They talked about that. So
Oh.
we'll also, you'll do front line on the computer, but the sign-in sheet is for documentation purposes for something else that Carol and Christy discussed.
So we're planning to meet with them from 8 to 9, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Please plan on meeting with the leadership team from 8 to
You're
9.
sending that out?
If you want me to.
That's fine.
Did you get the, already email this time? They just sent one this morning. Before it's not to you.
Let me look in my other box. The iReady team lead with actionable.
Yes.
Yes.
So
I
if you
received
click
it.
those like orange links, there's several different, templates that we might wanna use. One's like encouraging teachers, which I thought would be good. But I wanna make sure you got it this time.
Data analysis guide. Resources for your educator, transform your data. Build a culture of celebration. Recognize your teachers,
Yeah, recognize your teachers with a bunch of templates.
which is what I showed you. Did you give that paper to Miss Brantley?
Mhm.
How did she was like, what is this?
She was like, what you want me to do with this? And I was like, visualize it, close your eyes and look on this wall. She was like, she wants posters or signs, and I was like, whatever would look good in this space, like, think about it.
You told her the main
Mhm.
hall with the library. So what I have come up with, what I want to happen is this. Are you getting these emails from iReady? They're just like newsletters and suggestions on how to, boost the usage, but they talk about celebration in almost all of the newsletters. So on our library hall, I want to post academic success to include already honor roll, things of that nature.
Okay.
But I want to recognize the students that have the highest score in reading and math each grade level, the student that increased the most each grade level, even if they're not, for that part, even if they're not on grade level.
Right.
We want to recognize them and the teacher as well. And I want their photo to be up there. So I drew out a diagram and I gave it to Ms. Cook to give to Ms. Brantley to come up with some way that we can recognize them for their work.
I was gonna say really quick, not getting off subject, but under the share the worksheet, it has, I really like this, where you're looking at different quadrants, so it talks about like how many kids are in the 25 percentile or 50 or whatever, so it's 4 different ones. And it has, how can I continue to provide instructional support to keep these students progressing towards proficiency? It has observe, reflect, and then take action. So I thought this would be a good reflective tool, and it has like a rubric up here for them to use during one of our PLCs one year. I thought they kind of broke it apart where they had to look at the students.
I'm gonna forward.
I had been getting them, but I guess somebody just forwarded it to me.
I did.
Thank you.
And it was a setting, I believe I had to turn on, or I think it was coming to my junk email. So once I went to not my junk, that other box, and I forwarded to my main box, they started coming to my main box. Almost certain we did it at the old elementary school.
Yeah, it's on the wall.
But we had the dots for each kid, each student, with a number. And we moved them
In the hall?
during each administration of a test.
Oh, then we transfer that to my office. It's on the wall on those charts. We'll keep moving them up. We
Right.
change to the cards.
Which
Yes.
is the same thing that's in your office.
Mhm.
Which brings me to, did we get math?
No, it's still in the chair. We'll work on that when we put our grades up. Our winter, then we'll put them up.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So-
saw it in her chair, that's why I
And we're gonna
said.
finish reading when we do F and P, and we get that level, that way we'll write our ready and F and P at the same time.
So basically,
So we just read.
it's really taking what
That-
you all have. I want that in the hall, but I was telling Ms. Cook that if we put paper up there and then try to attach something, it's probably gonna be too heavy and it's
Yeah.
gonna fall. We can't use Velcro because once we move the kid,
We use,
know.
that thin metal, and it comes in like a roll. You have to unroll it and flatten it, like put heavy stuff on it to lay it flat. But we screwed that into our wall and had a magnetic data wall, and just got those little tiny circles and hot glued them to, I don't know if that's something you're interested in.
we're getting ready to purchase the strips, the corkboard strips. Ready? So, Miss Green said, no problem. Miss Bostic teaches small groups from 12:15 until 1:15 p.m. any day next week is perfectly fine. But I actually want her there the entire time.
Yeah, the whole block.
So I will respond and ask her, can she come from start until finish? Do you think that she needs to be accompanied? I spoke with Miss Bostic over the break, and we talked about that. She said she will provide us a detailed report
Okay.
on what they discussed. Cause I don't want her to feel like I have to follow her
Right?
there.
But do you think
But
it would
on
be
the same
good?
side of the coin, we followed the other ones we sent, cause Ms. Cook went with them, and we don't want her to, so it would be natural if somebody would go.
Okay.
And he was still open and receptive, and he was with you, right, when you followed Mr. Reed?
It was, what I kinda did was like, just make sure that they were noticing things. Like, I would lean over and say, did you see how she just taught that with no interruptions? No one got up, no one raised their hand. Someone did raise their hand, did you see how she's not acknowledging it? No instructional time's lost. Just kind of coaching them through what they were seeing. Cause I think sometimes our mind, because we are in leadership, sees things that they just don't see. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't see what you don't see.
But you talked with Ms. Bostic, 'cause I know Ms. Bostic, she's one of the ones that she actually can tie into what she'll teach, okay, this is what we're doing to the, and go with it, but
I would
She's
suggest-
been a coach before.
Okay, I was gonna say, I would either suggest somebody going with, but if not, maybe giving her like a rubric, like what materials were used, what questions were asked, what were the other students doing while she was teaching small group,
Mhm.
like just so she kind of guide her thoughts on the things we need her
Questions
to see.
geared towards what we want her to
Mhm.
focus on. Okay. Not that I don't wanna go, I just hate being out of the building.
Yeah, I get
But on the
that.
other side of that coin is if I'm a teacher, I'm going to watch someone, I wanna really pay attention and watch and be really engaged in it, supposed to think I answer all these questions, and I don't wanna miss anything. I know I'm back and forth, I'm kind of on both sides.
But
of
no,
this coin.
that's a good point.
But do you think it could be like a reflective thing, like afterwards? Like read these questions before and as you observe, and kind of have like an open spot, like what other things did you see as pros and cons, and let her kind of sort through what she saw.
I know, though it says afterwards, I'm gonna be doing that while I'm watching it, just so I'll make sure I'm getting these questions down. And everybody's not wired the way I'm wired, so.
I just think you have to think of how she's wired. She's gonna wanna see what she wants to see. That's just,
And bring back just that piece of support where she wanted to
or
support.
she's
as
gonna say,
opposed
well,
to see
she's
the
struggling
picture.
too, just like I, you know what I mean? It's gonna be very easy for her to say like,
And we can record, right?
I don't know what they're.
Will she be allowed to report?
Okay. I don't know. I have to ask.
And
So
how
I'll-
long was the session? I usually don't know, how long will she watch from, school starts at what time for them, 7:30?
Mm-hmm.
Until when she's finished with our whole, with that?
And what another suggestion that Miss Bostic made was for her to go see the social studies teacher, because the social studies teacher has demographics of majority ML and special needs students,
Ooh.
and they're performing well. So
Was there somebody in her building, like the time we sent Hutchinson to Van Hazel and allowed her to go and kind of coach her through it? Is there somebody maybe she could?
Her reading.
I didn't ask that.
Or maybe just have a time, like if you've already spoke with the teacher and you know her, maybe have her a time where she can talk with her and explain some things. I don't know.
I'll go. So let me tell you what my fear is, because I don't have that coaching background. That's my fear, that I will miss the parts that will actually help her to transition into what we need her to transition into. So I'm gonna go. I gotta get over that fear, so I'm gonna go.
I say I don't mind going, but I